Today's story begins with a simple question fans have been asking for years. Who is Cha Eun-woo when the cameras are not rolling? For years, fans admired him as the genius face of South Korea. Perfect visuals, perfect manners, perfect image. But behind that perfection is a man almost no one has truly seen, except the people who work closest to him. And among those people, one name stands out more than anyone else: Moon Jae-young. Their chemistry in True Beauty was undeniable, but what really surprised fans was how naturally they interacted even when the cameras turned away. Moon Jae-young was one of the very few who witnessed Cha Eun-woo during his quiet moments far from lights, scripts, and rehearsals. And now, for the first time, she is revealing who he really is behind the scenes. Moon Jae-young once said that her first impression of Cha Eun-woo was striking, not because of his face, but because of how calm he was. While everyone else rushed around the set, memorizing lines and adjusting props, Eun-woo quietly studied his script, completely focused. He had a presence that didn't demand attention, it simply drew people in. She described him as someone who carried a gentle but firm energy, someone who made even the busiest filming day feel peaceful. But it wasn't until filming started that she realized something deeper. She saw how he treated staff, always greeting them first. She saw how he stayed behind to help the youngest crew members clean up props. She saw how he encouraged the supporting actors, telling them to take their time, reminding them that every scene mattered. Behind the genius face was someone far more complex and far more human. There was one moment during True Beauty that Moon Jae-young never forgot. It was late at night, around 2 a.m. Most of the cast was exhausted. A heavy emotional scene had to be filmed, the kind of scene that drains even the most experienced actors. When filming paused, Jae-young noticed Eun-woo quietly slipping away behind his set wall. Curious, she followed him. She found him sitting alone, his shoulders tense, his hands shaking slightly. He wasn't upset, but he was fighting to stay composed. That was when Jae-young realized something important. Cha Eun-woo never wanted to show anyone his struggles. He always smiled. He always looked steady. But he carried everything inside. Instead of walking away, Jae-young sat beside him in silence. No words, no pressure, just quiet understanding. He looked at her and said something she never forgot. "I just want to do well. Not to impress, not to show off, not to win awards." He simply wanted to do well for the drama, for the fans, and for everyone who believed in him. That moment changed everything. Jae-young revealed that Cha Eun-woo is someone who practices endlessly. If he had 10 lines, he rehearsed them 50 times. If a scene required emotion, he stayed in that emotion long after the director shouted cut. He was the last to leave set on most days. She said he sometimes doubted himself, questioning whether he was good enough. People often assumed his visuals made his life easy, but Jae-young insisted it was the opposite. His looks created expectations, high ones, and Eun-woo worked twice as hard to prove that he was more than just a pretty face. Jae-young saw him stay awake during breaks, writing notes on how to improve his expressions. She once caught him practicing guitar until his fingers turned red, all because he wanted a scene to look authentic. To her, that dedication was the real genius, not the face. Moon Jae-young was also surprised by something else. Cha Eun-woo was quietly funny. He didn't crack loud jokes or try to stand out, but his reactions, his subtle humor, made everyone laugh during tough filming days. Once, he imitated a staff member's unique way of walking, and the entire cast burst into laughter. Another time, he accidentally spilled water on himself and tried to act like nothing happened, only to flush in embarrassment when Jae-young noticed. His awkwardness, she said, was one of his most charming qualities. He wasn't trying to be perfect. In fact, he wasn't even aware that anyone expected him to be. Jae-young also shared that Eun-woo is extremely observant. He notices small things others miss. If a staff member looked tired, he quietly offered snacks. If someone was struggling with lines, he offered to practice with them. If someone was having a bad day, he sensed it before they even said a word. But what surprised her the most was how private he was. When filming ended, Eun-woo rarely talked about his own life. He always asked others how they were doing first. He listened more than he spoke. He absorbed everything, but revealed almost nothing, not because he didn't trust people, but because he never wanted to burden them. Fans often commented on the natural chemistry between them, and Ga-young explained why. It wasn't scripted. It wasn't forced. It came from real trust. She understood him. He felt safe around her. They didn't need long conversations or dramatic gestures. Sometimes, during breaks, they sat together in comfortable silence. Other times, they exchanged small jokes that no one else understood. She became one of the few people he could relax around, and that connection translated on screen in a way audiences could instantly feel. When asked what she admired most about Cha Eun-woo, Ga-young answered without hesitation, his heart. Not his visuals, not his fame, not his talent, but the way he cared for people even when they didn't see it. He showed kindness quietly. He worked hard without seeking praise. He carried pressure without complaining. To Moon Ga-young, Cha Eun-woo was a rare kind of person, someone who remained humble despite extraordinary success. Ga-young said she wasn't surprised by Eun-woo's rise to global fame. In fact, she predicted it long before others did. She believed it was only a matter of time before the world noticed not just his face, but his sincerity, dedication, and depth as an actor. She said the world sees the star, but she has seen the person behind it. And that person, she believes, is just beginning to show what he is truly capable of. She ended with a message to fans: if you think he works hard on camera, you should see how hard he works when no one is watching. The Cha Eun-woo you admire is even better in real life. And so, from the boy known as the genius face to the global star taking over the world, Cha Eun-woo continues to surprise everyone, not with perfection, but with sincerity. And thanks to Moon Jae-young, the world now knows the truth. Behind the star is a Moon who works quietly, loves deeply, and cares more than people realize. After the cameras were turned off and the crew had left for the day, Moon Jae-young recalled how Cha Eun-woo would often stay behind, quietly reflecting on his performance. He didn't do it for attention or praise. He did it because he genuinely wanted to improve. She remembered one evening in particular when they were both reviewing a complex scene. The scene required subtle emotion, something difficult to convey without overacting. While most would have left it at 1 or 2 takes, Eun-woo continued to quietly run through it, adjusting his expressions minutely, his eyes full of concentration. Moon Jae-young watched him from a distance, feeling admiration not just for his talent, but for the dedication that drove him. Over time, she realized that his commitment wasn't limited to acting. Cha Eun-woo cared about the energy on set, the moods of the staff, and the comfort of his fellow actors. He noticed when a makeup artist looked tired, offering a simple word of encouragement or helping them pack up equipment at the end of the day. To Moon Jae-young, these moments revealed a side of him few outsiders could see, a blend of humility, kindness, and quiet responsibility that matched the disciplined intensity he showed on camera. Beyond work, Cha Eun-woo had a way of making small, meaningful gestures. A cup of tea left on someone's desk, a note of thanks tucked in between scripts, or a brief smile that communicated empathy and reassurance, these small actions left a lasting impact. Moon Jae-young often reflected on how these subtle touches shaped the environment on set, creating a sense of trust and calm even during the most stressful days of filming. Their connection deepened not through grand gestures, but through shared quiet moments. They would often sit together during breaks, sometimes in silence, sometimes exchanging simple conversations about life outside of acting. These moments, ordinary as they seemed, allowed them to understand each other's personalities and work ethics in a way that viewers could never see. For Moon Jae-young, these exchanges confirmed that Cha Eun-woo's charm went far beyond his appearance. It was in his empathy, his work ethic, and the way he valued people around him. Even when the show ended, those memories stayed with her. She recalled the last day of filming, when they were wrapping up a particularly challenging sequence. Cha Eun-woo had spent hours ensuring every detail was perfect, but instead of drawing attention to himself, he thanked everyone individually. He expressed gratitude to the crew, to the supporting cast, and to Moon Jae-young herself, acknowledging the teamwork that made the performance possible. That gesture, she said, spoke volumes about his character, a quiet leader, not one who seeks recognition, but one who inspires respect through action. Fans never knew about these moments, but Moon Jae-young's reflections provide insight into the Moon behind the public persona. It's a story of dedication, humility, and compassion, qualities that elevate him beyond his title as the genius face. Cha Eun-woo's off-camera persona is a testament to the fact that true greatness often lies not in the spotlight, but in the quiet moments that go unseen. As Moon Jae-young concluded in her interviews, the world may admire his face, his talent, or his fame, but the real Cha Eun-woo is revealed in his quiet care for others, his commitment to craft, and his unwavering humility. And for those who work closely with him, these glimpses of authenticity are enough to understand why he continues to capture hearts worldwide, not just as a star, but as a genuinely remarkable human being.